everyone, welcome. As you can tell probably by the title of this video, this is just going to be an honest life update. I was thinking about how actually for the past couple of years, Vlogmas Day 1 has been like an honest life update. And then this year, I don't know, I just didn't do that yet. I was like, I'm sure I'll do it at some point in Vlogmas. And I've just been collecting my thoughts to be honest with you guys, open up about how I'm feeling, everything that's going on. Especially today is just like a rainy, cozy day. That's why I'm here in my bedroom. I was like, I feel most comfortable in here. I'll feel most at ease opening up about things, and I can just be comfy in my comfy sweatshirt while it's dreary, cuddled up with Brody. I got my emotional support animal here with me. Angel. Oh yes, cozy honey. So he's gonna join us and we're just gonna yap a little bit. Okay. Wow, it feels weird to just open up and start talking. Sorry, I had my gift guide video and then this one are like little sit down ones, but you guys know the rest of Vlogmas is like vlogs of doing fun things. But I figured I owed you guys this because I feel like I do it once a year now, it seems, during December. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry, I'm being so distracted, but like, you need to see this angel puppy. He's really gonna be cuddled up close if I get emotional. I actually was doing my makeup to film this video and I curled my eyelashes and I was like, I'm not gonna put a mascara in case I get emotional at all. It's just gonna be a mess. So where do we start? Let's just start with most recently. I know I talked about this in a YouTube video, my podcast, over on TikTok, but this is just what's been on my mind the most recently because it has to do with my health, and that would be basically the functional medicine doctor that I started seeing. You guys have had like so many questions about. And yes, basically they're based out of Boston, and I feel like functional medicine has become way more popular in the past couple years because I feel like there's so many things that you can be experiencing in your body, with yourself, with your health, that maybe you feel like your primary care like glazes over, or you just don't really have the time to go through these things with them, or you just need more like specific testing that they don't offer, things like that. So I feel like functional medicine really has a time and place, and I believe maybe I cut it out of the TikTok I posted because I yapped for so long, but basically when I started seeing a functional medicine doctor, it's like so validating. Sometimes it almost feels like therapy. It's just so, yeah, like I said, validating, helpful to know like, oh, there's things I can do here that will help me when I've been feeling off, and it's not just in my head. And then I start to get where I feel bad and feel guilty because I know a lot of functional medicine doctors can be quite pricey and only certain things are covered by insurance, and it just makes me sad in like our healthcare system. I just think that every single human being would benefit from a functional medicine doctor who can do really in-depth testing. So I know I talked about, I don't need to rehash it all because I already talked about it, but I did like a whole like GI, digestive tract, why can't I think of what it's called, testing, cortisol test, blood panel, and cortisol test, that was the spit one. Oh, heavy metals test was like a pee test. And yeah, so basically the main things I've been working on health-wise, to update you, is the high levels of mercury that I have, which we found out. So I've been kind of doing a detox with that. Naturally, there was like a more intense way you could go with pills, and I'm like, I would rather just do the natural way, like over time. And also working on the cortisol. So that is probably the hardest. And she was like, Gretchen, this is like the most alarming, if you guys remember when I talked about that, because she was like, your cortisol's way out of whack. You have adrenal fatigue where you've had high cortisol for so long, and you need to build more relaxation recovery into your day-to-day life. And she's like, the reason it's so hard is because it's such a lifestyle switch. So I've been really trying to focus on sleep, recovery, more like low energy time during the day. It's hard during the holidays and I'm like visiting friends and traveling and stuff, and I want to keep doing that, and that feels very like high stress and go. But like last night I slept a ton, and I'm really trying to prioritize that. And I just feel like she really emphasized to me, because I would think like, oh, if I sleep 5 hours and then just go and don't take care of myself, like whatever, how bad can it be? And she's like, no, this is really bad and like affects your health and your, you know, well-being. So that has been really helpful for me, but it's been hard, all these little things. I did some of my own research about adrenal fatigue, and it's like all the things you already know to help that already just help in general. Less alcohol, less caffeine, like low impact movement, more sleep, recovery, all these little things. So that's kind of the journey that I have been on. And then I'm like posting my Starbucks and running, and you guys are like, Gretchen, the venti cold brew and the running are the exact opposite of what we should be doing right now. And I'm like, I know. So it can feel like very overwhelming. We don't even need to get into that. The health and wellness stuff that you hear when they start to, when you know so much and they all start to like contradict. And then I have people DMing me being like, running is one of the best things you can do for a cardiovascular system. And then on the other hand, people are like, running is so much impact on your body. It's very like high intensity, not good for the cortisol levels. And I'm like, so it's good for your health, but it's bad for your health. You know what I mean? So I could yap about that for like hours, how like, you know, some people are like, bananas are good, bananas are bad, bacon's good, bacon's bad. And it's like, okay, I'm just trying to do the best I can here so it can get really overwhelming. But that is that for that. I guess I'll wait specifically on like supplements she started me on to see if I'm feeling like a difference over time. But one thing I really wanted to mention to you guys, and this is actually so exciting because it's the sponsor of this video. Shout out Calm, the Calm app, for sponsoring this video. This is crazy, you guys. I manifested working with them. I cannot even tell you because I will literally pull up the notes for my functional medicine doctor appointment. She was like, Gretchen, if you don't have the Calm app already, get it, use it. This is very important. This will help you with your lifestyle change that you need to do. It's the best app for this. And basically, I have been making myself be consistent with this because one of my number one things when I first started seeing functional medicine doctor is sleep. Having issues falling asleep, that's the main thing. Like once I'm asleep, I can pretty much stay asleep, but calming down because I'm in such a high state of stress and like always worrying, always like working, it's really hard for me to like calm down my mind, hence why I need the Calm app, and just like relax enough to fall asleep. So that was like my biggest issue. And then the no sleep affects so many other things. The cortisol, the digestion, right? It's like sleep is so important. We all know. So basically the Calm app, if you guys didn't know, is the #1 app for sleep and meditation. I'm sure you've heard of it. I feel like first had experience with it like years ago when it came out. Let me show you. My screen is so cracked. So maybe I'll do a little screen recording so I can show you around the app more if you haven't seen it. But there I have it in my little blue app section and it's so cute. You can set it up to have it be like how you want it when you first open the app. And mine is like a little winding river. I really was trying to make it the most serene as possible and it's very serene. Can you hear the little noise I have it set up as? And so nice. I'll put it on the screen right here of just different meditations I have, sleep stories, which is really nice to help you calm down to go to sleep. I've learned, guys, that is like such a thing that helps me fall asleep. If it's Max reading me a book, if it's me listening to a sleep story, I need to get me out of my own head worrying about things I have to do and like focus on something else calming, like a sleep story. They have more than just that too. They have breathing exercises, they have calming music, and I would just highly, highly recommend if you guys are someone like me who feels go and like you have so much going on at all times and you always have the running to-do list in your head and it's really hard for you to physically calm down, to sleep, to meditate. The meditations are really helpful for me too, you guys. Like I will whip that out, or a breathing exercise. It depends specifically how I'm feeling like in the middle of the day. I'll be honest with myself, and sometimes, you see, this might be like anxiety. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it, but I'll feel anxious, right? And I'll feel like it's hard for me to like take a deep breath and I'm like, I need some breathing exercises. Like I just listen to my body and I pull one of them up and it's really helpful. Or a meditation just feels like instantly like a reset in my day and like okay, I had a lot of work stuff. That's another thing for me being work from home and just doing my own thing. It's really hard for me to switch from one task to another sometimes. Like if I'm working all day and Max is like, okay, let's make dinner and stuff. And I'm like, wait, but I'm still working on stuff. And then I'm like stressed making dinner and I'm like, I need like something that signifies like, okay, like we're closing the chapter of working today. I can start again tomorrow. I don't need to like be on my email until midnight. I'm gonna have dinner and like be a human and prioritize the rest in recovery like we're talking about. And so doing a meditation to just sit there and feel really present and grounded has helped me tremendously. So I highly recommend. If you guys are someone like me, I know Calm is actually giving me a discount for you guys. So if you go to calm.com/Gretchen, calm.com/Gretchen for 40% off their premium subscriptions, you can have access to their entire library, breathing exercises, meditations, sleep stories, calming music. Yeah, you can track like, your progress in there, how consistent you've been with it throughout the month. And it's just a really helpful tool if you are someone like me who has a really hard time calming down. I'll have the Calm app linked down below in the description. Really highly recommend. I could talk about that all day long. I've yapped so much about functional medicine, but that's kind of like what's been going on with my health at the moment. She just scared me, or it was good that she told me all this. Like I keep saying, it's like a wake-up call to work on the cortisol, the lifestyle, little things like being high in mercury. I never would have known, but you know, that can be linked, like high levels of heavy metals in the body can be linked to anxiety, depression, mental health things. So she's like, let's do a detox, see how you feel. It's been hard. I'm like, I should ask her actually. I can message her in my little portal. Since I'm doing that, Like she's like, mainly it comes from tuna, salmon, and some people's bodies are just bad at like breaking it down. And she said, I think that's what you have because you're not eating like insane amounts of tuna and salmon. But like, so since I'm doing the detox, can I still eat tuna and salmon? I feel like I had some tuna the other day. But now at a restaurant, I'm like, oh, I probably shouldn't order the salmon, but I like love that stuff. See guys, this is what I mean. On one hand, it's like salmon, really good for you, lots of protein. Gretchen, bad for you, high in mercury. So it's like so contradicting. But yes, that's the update of my health. Wow, I'm yapping so long. Like I said, kicking the butt that I needed, or like the wake up call, what really sticks with me, like I honestly think about it every day, is she was like, Gretchen, with the cortisol like this, you will struggle with fertility. If it's not for you and your well-being, think about your future kids. When you are like running yourself into the ground, you need to make a change, you need to delegate, you need to calm down and relax more. So that's that. Okay, wow, we didn't get email about that because I've been doing good. I've been doing the best I can. That's all I can do. Next up, I have a little list here so I don't go off the rails for my life update. Okay, I don't even know how to get into this. I was doing some deep thoughts today when I was thinking about this video. I'm like, how am I really doing? I don't know if any of you can relate to this. You guys are gonna be like, you're a lost puppy. But I feel like, I don't know how to describe it. Sometimes my sense of self, I don't know if that's even the right way to put it, is interesting. It's off. This is reminding me, I feel like some girls say this, like it'll be like a couple days before you have your menstrual cycle and you'll be like so down, so doom and gloom and everything's wrong and like, what am I even doing in life? And you're just like, you just question everything. And then you start your period and you're like, oh, that's why I was feeling that. I feel like sometimes that happens to me. Like I'll be like so negative, like everything is wrong. I'm, you know, and I'm like, oh, maybe it's like where I'm at in my menstrual cycle. Okay, maybe that's the reason I'm feeling that way. And then some days you feel like you have it all figured out. But sometimes I do feel as though, I don't know if anyone else has social media or like is their own boss, essentially works from home. Sometimes I am like, what am I doing? Like I know what I'm doing. I'm just like sharing my life, being your guys' bestie and big sister, and I love it. But there's always this sense when you do social media and are just working for yourself on your own, like, am I doing enough? Am I doing the right things? Like sometimes I feel like I question myself a lot. Am I on the right track? Am I working as hard as I can? Am I doing the best I can? And then that's when I get emotional with the functional medicine doctor being like, slow down, do less. And I'm like, see, but the thing is, the issue is I always feel like I can be doing more. I actually feel like I'm never doing enough. Like, so then I feel like my sense of self and like identity, like the imposter syndrome for sure, when I am like living my dream life and I'm like, do I even deserve this though? Like, have I even worked, like, all of that stuff. And then I just question, yeah, like who I am and what I'm doing and like, is it right? Is it the right path for me? Am I doing enough? Oh, this stuff starts to get freaky. I feel like this is like conversations I have with my girlfriends, and you know, in your 20s, everyone's figuring it out and it's like, am I on the right career path? Am I doing what's right? But it's also like, no one really knows. Like no one actually has it figured out. And even the people in your life that you think have the most figured out career-wise still could change tomorrow, make a pivot, get a new job, you know, get laid off, do something new, just decide to change tomorrow. So I don't know. I feel like sometimes sometimes I guess the update is sometimes I question like everything that I'm doing online in real life, and I'm just like, is this the right path? Is what I'm doing right? But it feels right in my heart, and it's like always what I've done and loved, and you know what I mean? Honestly, this is gonna sound bad. This sounds like, I was gonna say, I feel like meeting all you girls in person actually gives me, like, helps me out with this sense of self, and then it's like, what am I just looking for like external validation? But it actually helps me so much. Like when I was just in Boston all weekend, meeting some of you, like one girl specifically was like, Gretchen, like you actually changed the trajectory of my life. And I'm like, wait, you're gonna make me cry right here now because you don't understand. Like sometimes I question, like, is anyone watching this Vlogmas? I've been doing it for so long. I think that's the thing too. I'm like, okay, there's like new shiny creators to follow. Like I have done this for literally so long. Like, are you guys just sick of me? And this girl's like, no, like I am tuned in. Like I'm watching, I'm listening. You've changed my life. Like I started rowing because of you. I moved to Boston because of you. I actually met a bunch of you this weekend that were like, I moved to Boston like because of you. Like my life wouldn't be here in the way it is in this job and this friends like without you. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this seems like a lot of like pressure. And like follow-up question always like, do you like it? Like if you move here because of me, do you like it? Like are you having a good time? They're always like, yes. But I'm like, okay, now I feel like responsible. Like I really hope you like it here. But just, yeah, all of you guys being so sweet and giving me the validation I need helps me. And like, oh, like I am making a difference, or I should keep going and keep making the podcast and the YouTube videos because you guys are tuned in and it is helping. And like, that's why I share what I do nowadays, because not only am I it comes naturally to me to document my life and share, and I'm an overshare, and that's who I am, and it's fun for me to be able to look back at all this stuff. But ultimately I just want to make content that you guys want to see and consume, and what is entertaining to you, what helps you. And yeah, so that life update is sometimes I question what I'm doing, but it's okay, and I just have to keep going. and remember that nobody really knows what they're doing. Like, everyone's trying to figure it out, and the purpose of life is just to live. And why am I like gonna get emotional now? Because I'm such a Pisces. I should talk to Lucy and Hannah about this. We were just saying Lucy, Hannah. You guys know Lucy, my best friend. Hannah. Lucy, oh my gosh, am I okay? Lucy, my twin sister. Hannah, my best friend. Taylor, my best friends. And we were all just together. We were like, Taylor, wow, you really are like swimming in this sea of water signs of all of us crazy Pisces. Like me, Hannah, and Lucy are all Pisces, and Taylor's Taurus. We're like, we need you to keep us grounded. You're like the most grounded girl. But yeah, I need to talk to them because I feel like we could really get into the weeds of like the purpose of life. And I just think about that. Like, my bottom line is to just experience life the best I can, have fun, and spend time with my family and friends, and that's what matters. Guys, I could yap all day long, but I don't know why this is making me think. Did anyone read, I'm sure some of you have, did any of you read that book, Evelyn Hugo? Spoiler alert, I kind of want to talk about it. Or it's the 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. I read it over the summer. I feel like it changed my brain chemistry. Like, it actually changed something within me. I was like up all night finishing it, and I literally sat there and was like, oh my gosh. So, okay, spoiler alert, if you're gonna read it, like skip forward to like a minute or a minute. Anyone that read it, that really like resonated with me, because basically she works so hard and like sacrifices everything to scale her way up in Hollywood and get these roles. And I won't give away like the main thing of the book, like all her husbands and what that really means, but basically she works so hard, gets so famous, has all this money, and then by the end of the book it's like all for nothing. Like, she's like, for what? Like, I won't say specifics, but like family members, close people to her had passed away and were gone, and she was like, wait, but that's actually what matters. Like, now that those people are gone, or these relationships with family and stuff, like she's like in her penthouse in New York and is like, I have all this money and all this fame, and like it doesn't even matter. Like, all of that was for what? And it just stuck with me. Like, of course it's good to have goals and work towards things. See, this is where I question the purpose of life. Of course it's great to have goals and work towards things and work hard, and if you want to have a certain lifestyle, you know what I mean? But then it's like, at the end of the day, for what? Like, when you are grandma or grandpa and you look back on your life and what you're left with, why am I gonna cry? Like, what's most important is like the memories and your family and friends and your impact on people and the type of person you were and the type of like mom and sister and cousin and person you were, employee, co-worker, like it, you know, woo. Maybe I'm even okay. We can move on for that. Why is that? So that's just stuck with me. I'm like, what's that called? So that made me have not midlife crisis. That made me very questioning. What is that word? Why can't I think of it? That made me, I'm looking it up. Hang on. It came to me. It made me feel very like existential. Is that the word? Anyway, I'm such a Pisces. I could yap all that. Okay, that's like sense of self. I wrote that down on my notes. Except, wait a minute. I wanted to say this earlier. Question of the day. This is all over. You guys just get to work with me and my ADHD brain. Oh, that's another topic we could talk all about after me being diagnosed with ADHD later in life. See, this is like so honest, because I don't know how much I share this with you guys. I never know how much to share, and if it's like too much, and that was like over a year ago now, and like trying to cope with that. And it's like, also like, if any of you, I feel like this is a common thing I've heard, women are diagnosed on average way later than men, and like later in life, and it's kind of missed. But then when you see and hear of all the signs and symptoms, me and my sister are like, sounds familiar. But then it's also like, okay, tried medicine, been there, done that. Don't think that's really the route for me that I'm really interested in, or think that it's that helpful, or I feel like there's ways for me to cope around that, and I wouldn't want to, like, there's like side effects, I wouldn't want to get into that forever. So then it's like, okay, so then if you find out you have ADHD or any of these things, anxiety, whatever, and maybe medication is the route for you, and that's helpful and that's great. But if not, it's like, okay, now what do we do with this information, with this knowing of like, this is something that I experience and have, and how do we work with this and cope with this? And actually social media has helped me with this. Like, I'll see things, it's like, for whatever reason, if you have ADHD, keeping your shoes on, like if you're at home and trying to be productive, once you sit or something, it's like game over. But if you keep your shoes on, it like signals to your brain like, I'm busy, I'm working, like I'm doing something. That weirdly has helped me. Little things like that. I saw one the other day, it was a reel, and I was like, whoa. And this girl was like, sometimes with ADHD, like it's hard to prioritize things. I really feel like I struggle with that, or like executive dysfunction type stuff. And she's like, sometimes it can be really hard to see, like, even if you know the priorities you have to do, like see your next step and your path forward of like, okay, this is what I need to do next. And she was like, it sounds weird, but if you can say out loud, I'm doing this and then I'm gonna do this, it weirdly helps. So I'm finding ways to like cope around that, but I don't know if anyone has helped with that. I remember so many of you, like a year ago when I was feeling weird and first saw a psychologist, so many of you were saying that you had ADHD diagnosed later in life, and ADHD was causing me to feel anxious, and I feel like that's kind of the situation with me. So I was like, oh, everyone is like, Gretchen, I think you have this, and I'm like, yeah, you're right. So that's that. We're on that journey too. Oh man. Okay, I was saying all this, but I was gonna say the question of the day. Yes, it kind of goes along with this. Okay, question of the day I was thinking should be, okay, I'm trying to put this into words. What helps you the most in your day-to-day life, like wellness-wise? Does that make sense? What helps you calm down? Is it tea? Is it petting your dog? Is it going on a walk outside? Is it really journaling, reading? Like actually tell me specifics, because that will help me. Are you doing the castor oil pack at night? Like, what are we doing to help with your day-to-day stress? Wellness, please let me know, because I'd love to read through that. Okay, sorry, this is gonna be like a long life update, it seems. This is just like the inner workings of my brain that we're dealing with, I suppose. I will say I'm doing better than last winter. I honestly should go look back at that first day of Vlogmas a year ago. I was struggling. That makes me so sad for that Gretchen. And I feel like to this day, for the past year, I've gotten DMs from you guys saying that you watched that video and you all want to give me a hug. And like, I want to go give that Gretchen a hug, because I really felt like strong changes in how I was feeling. And that was the first time that I talked to my functional medicine doctor about this. I was like, I would lay in bed like a year ago when we first moved here for hockey season, Max's first season, the New Jersey Devils organization. We had our place in Utica, and I would lay in bed at night, and it was the first time I would lay there and my heart would be like beating through my chest, and I like could not calm down, and I felt like I could barely catch my breath. And he's like, are you okay? And I'm like, I don't know, is it an anxiety attack? Is it a panic attack? Am I just feeling anxious? Like, what's happening? So no wonder I'm having like insomnia, and it's taking me like 2 hours to fall asleep because I'm so worked up. And so we've tried to work through that, and basically I'm like so go during the day and like ignoring my feelings and not reflecting. And also then finally when I can like quiet down at night and I'm not focused on something else, my mind starts worrying and I start doing all that reflecting. So yeah, that's my question of the day, because it will literally help me. But I've been doing better with that, but that's always scary. That's when I literally pull up my breathing exercises on Calm, because I'm like, oh, feeling like you can't catch your breath and stuff is so scary. But yes, I feel like I'm doing better than I was a year ago, because it was also new to me, and I was feeling extra symptoms of like ADHD and just feeling off. And I don't know if it was like seasonal depression, being somewhere new, and we were in such like a dark house. I know it sounds crazy, but it actually was affecting like my day-to-day life and like my mindset, like my mental health, because the house was so dark and there were like barely any windows. It was dark outside and gray, and I swear the sun like didn't shine. I'm like, I'm losing my mind. And we were coming off such a fun, social, happy sunshine summer, and I was like away from all my friends and family, and I'm like, I am like not doing well. So yes, I'm doing better, because we're in like a bright apartment. As you can see, the sunlight literally is helping me, and I'm more adjusted here. I see my friends and family more. I was just seeing my friends in Boston, and yes, I'm doing better. But that was hard. I actually need to go look back at that and be like, have I gotten better? But I do feel better. And I also should like shout out my friend group. I feel so lucky to have the friends that I do, because I do feel like it's rare in your, my like mid-late 20s, now I'm 27, I guess, to just stay so close with my childhood friends. And we all make such an effort to see each other often and like be there for each other and support each other. And they are like my foundation and my rock, and it's like so sweet to have them. And we've been through the hardest times with each other, and they just know, like Hannah and Taylor, love you guys, shout out. They just like know everything about me and just love me for me, and you know my whole family, and like knew my dad so well, and it's just like they just get it. And it's just so like, you know, it's just irreplaceable to have those female friendships. And we're always so emo when we're all together. We all like cry about how lucky we are to have each other, but like we really are. And especially as life goes on and like life gets harder, and oh my gosh, why am I getting like negative here? But it's like family and friends get sick, you go through hard things, you know, family members age, things like that. It's like irreplaceable to have their support and love. And it's like sometimes your friends can truly be your soulmates, and then of course you have your romantic soulmate back train. Not now, this is not the time. But yeah, so shout out my friendships. Female friendships are just, I'm just such a girl's girl, and they keep me going, and they really help my mental health a lot. Wow, we're just getting deep here, but that now you guys know why I'm always like, whenever I'm posting my friends, I'm like reunited, heart, 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 ILY. It's like, no, like really though, like I am like a different person now I'm around my friends. They like breathe all the life into me, and I'm like recharged being with them. I'm about to see more of my best friends this week. KP and Louisa, love you, and I just get like so excited for them. I'm such a girl's girl. Obviously Max, love you honey, but you guys know when you're with your girlfriends it's different, and I am just so lucky for them. I don't know what I would do without them. Wow, what an update. You guys are like, okay, we get it. She loves her friends. Okay, I stopped that because I was about to grab a new battery, but I think we're okay. It says it's low. I guess we'll just see. when it dies. I'll grab a new one. Okay. Wedding planning. This I also need to look back at. I feel like I did like a wedding planning Q&A last maybe November, December. And I remember every question I like literally didn't know the answer to yet. We were like in such early phases. It was like, how many bridesmaids? I'm like, I don't know. Should do have an update for you guys. Or just like questions like that. But now we obviously been, of course I was like, oh, we'll see how far along we get. Dies 30 seconds later. I can't with these batteries. Then I grabbed a new battery, started recording, and then that completely just cut off and didn't even save the clip. So what I was saying, and now it's freaking getting dark out. It's not even 4 o'clock. I'm done with this. I need to like get up earlier to film in December and January, February before the clocks go forward because it's just so dark during the day when I film. Okay, what was I saying? Yes, obviously we're planning more now that our wedding is coming sooner, and so basically my last life update all has to do with wedding planning since I'm thinking about it like pretty much every day and making little decisions. And we can talk about my dad quickly because I don't want to get too sad for too long. I always feel like whenever I bring him up, I don't know, I start to feel a sense now that like, Gretchen, you shouldn't be talking about this anymore, or like, people are over this, you lost your dad a while ago now. But if you've lost a parent, like, you know, it always feels so fresh, even though it's been over 5 years, which I just can't even believe. And I feel like you guys always, if I ever posted my story like 5 years or like my, you know, the 6th birthday I'm celebrating for my dad without him, you guys are always like, what? It was that long ago? And it's just crazy how time flies. But with wedding planning and making every little decision, I just think about him so much, and his absence is felt more and more the closer we get. And I just need to ask if any of you have lost a parent and have gotten married, how do you make it through your wedding day and not just get so sad? I just feel like I'm going to sob the entire day. I'm gonna sob because I'm happy and so excited to be marrying the love of my life, and sad because my dad's not there to experience it. And what I was saying in the clip that got cut off, and I'm having deja vu, but I was just telling Hannah and Taylor about it and like getting their opinion because I was like, you guys, I'm sorry, it's getting so dark in here. I apologize. I was waiting for this little battery to charge. I've thought about doing the like empty chair in the front row for my dad and have like a picture of him framed and some flowers. And why am I gonna cry thinking about that right now? But to see the thought of that, me sitting up there and looking and seeing like where my dad should be sitting and seeing a picture of him instead, I think will just make me an absolute mess. And I'm like, I just don't know if I can do that. That is just gonna be like way too sad. But then not having that feels sad, but having that feels sad. But then I saw TikTok the other day and I'm like, this needs to be a mindset. And a girl was saying how she lost her mom a while ago, she's getting married, and that she's so excited to have the photo of her there. And she's like, I just know I'm gonna look at it during my ceremony and feel her presence and feel so comforted that she's like there with me. She was saying how, of course, I feel like so many people that was appearing do this, and I probably should do too, where it's like a little mini circular picture frame that you get their face in and you like wrap it around your bouquet so it's like they're walking with you down the aisle. And I really need to do that for my dad. That I think is gonna be, that is what makes me the most emotional thing about walking down the aisle with him, because obviously that's a tradition, such a tradition that you do with your dad. And I feel like any bride that's lost their dad, everyone's like, oh my gosh, like, are they, you know, gonna be okay walking down the aisle, or who's gonna walk to them down the aisle instead? And I don't know if I've talked about it. Maybe I'll keep it a surprise who is walking down with me. Maybe I have said, I don't know. But yeah, just every little decision, I think about him. Even last night, Max and I were playing so many songs and we were having so much fun and just saying, oh, we could see this at our welcome party, write it down. We could see this at our reception, writing that down for another reception. We could see this one at our after party, writing that one down there. And certain songs would come on, like literally every song makes me think of my dad, but very certain ones, Lucy would know, are just so happy and fun. And he always played just like fun, joyful music. And certain ones just really remind us of him, or I just have such specific memories. It's crazy how songs bring you back to a specific moment in time of him like blasting in his car, like dancing around. And I'm like, I want to play these songs at our wedding, but I think I'll just cry. But like, it's so hard. Is this feeling sad? Is this feeling nostalgic? Is this keeping his memory alive? Or is it just really sad? I don't know. But I think I'll find a right balance and just go off of like whatever feels right. But if any of you have lost a parent and gotten married, I've honestly heard so many sweet things from so many of you, and I'm gonna like take everyone's advice, little ways to incorporate him throughout the weekend. And that was honestly one of the very first things Max and I said to our wedding planner was he had a grandma that he was extremely close to, and I had my dad that I was extremely close to that are no longer with us. And we made it very clear we need their presence to be very a part of our wedding weekend for it to feel right and for it to feel like us. So that's that. Oh man, you guys, just big life events is so hard when you've lost someone you're so close to. The other day I was talking to Lucy about it, and I don't know, I just said something. I was like, I just wish he could be there. Like, I just wish he could help me make these decisions. Like, I just was thinking of him, like, being on our dance floor, like, daddy-daughter dance. Like, I can literally envision that, like, with my dad. And so then, like, letting go of the fact that, like, that won't happen is really hard. I'm like, but I can, like, see this. Like, he was so fun and had, like, such a big personality and really big, what is that word? Presence. A really big, yeah, you just feel his absence that much more. Oh yeah, like I literally could see that happening. Like I probably have dreams about that in like another universe, in another lifetime. We should probably turn on a light in here. So yeah, that's that. Moving on from that, along with wedding planning, do I need to get a light? Hang on. Oh, I hate the big overhead light, and it's like yellowy. Now you can see me too much. Crying. But yeah. Okay, moving on from that, next up with wedding planning, which I just need to not focus on. It's all okay. I don't know if any of you are married or brides and have any good words of wisdom for me, but I'm sure this is a relatable experience if you are. I feel like whenever I give a life update, I always touch on body image and how I'm doing in regards to that whole can of worms. And I always feel like I'm doing the best I can, and I try to get better each and every year with that. But then being a bride, it feels really hard. It feels like such a pressure to be in the absolute best shape you can be in. Like this is the one event in your life you're gonna be photographed and on video so much. No pressure, look amazing. And it's like, okay, like I feel like so many brides face so much pressure when it comes to that. Even if it's not, I mean, I know some people it is from like mothers or friends or family members literally saying things to you. Luckily I don't deal with any of that, but in my case it's just like self-inflicted pressure. Like, Gretchen, this is like such a big day and you want to look and feel like the best version of yourself that you can, so maybe try a little bit harder leading up with workouts, with, you know, eating nutritious foods. But it just, yeah, it just feels like a really hard balance. And I also just want to like live my life and be happy and be fueled, and I feel like I do have a good balance. But it's like, could I look a little bit in better shape? Probably, but then I don't want to have to bend over backwards to do that. But I want to look great in my dress. But then I also don't want to like go over that, you know, some people are like, look back and are like, oh, I did too much or I didn't eat enough leading up to my wedding, and then look, I don't even really look like myself. Don't want that. Luckily I like food too much. I don't think that will be the case. But yeah, it just feels like a lot of pressure, and I feel like I'm gonna be mad at myself if I look back and I'm like, Gretchen, you could have like thrown in some more workouts, tried a little bit harder. But I don't know. Yeah, that just feels like a lot of pressure, and especially like other friends of mine that are engaged and seeing what they're doing and me being like, well, am I doing enough? You know, it's like I just need to not compare, and I just want to be the healthiest, happiest version of me and look like myself. And I just need to remember that, you know, this is like the pep talk I needed to give myself right now. And I could get married tomorrow and I would look fine and feel fine and look like me and feel like me, and that's what matters most. And honestly, no one's really like, wow, look at her toned arms. They're like, look at that bride, she's so happy, she's so glowing. I need to keep this mindset. I need to remember this and not get so worked up on like the appearance of things. Like, everything's okay. I'm, you know, at a healthy weight, healthy, happy, and I just need to remember that. And I've said this before, but also you guys need to remember, no one ever says, look at your, I know this is morbid, no one ever says at your funeral looking back, look how skinny her legs were in those leggings. I just remember how toned her abs were. No one will ever say that. They'll say, she was literally like the best friend I ever had. She was so kind, she was so caring, she was such a great sister, she was such a great mom. But like I was saying earlier in the video, like what matters most is like memories and friends and family and like your impact on people. That's your legacy, not the size of your wedding dress. So this just actually helped me a lot today. Thank you. Thank you, inner thoughts telling me, I don't know. Yeah, but the body image stuff is hard when it comes up with the wedding. And I was like so scared of wedding dress shopping, I know I talked about, and then it like wasn't scary at all. I was just so scared to be made to feel not small enough or told like I just have heard horror stories. I was so scared a wedding dress consultant was gonna be like, oh no, that style won't look good on you. You'd have to be like small, or like, oh no, you're too big for that dress. I don't know why I was so scared of that happening, and it absolutely didn't happen at all. And it was like the best experience. So yeah, luckily we're okay there. I really hope this battery doesn't die. And again, I'm talking too much. I need to be cut off. My last note when it comes to wedding planning is I almost feel this sense of nostalgia already. I'm nuts. I'm literally crazy. Or like sadness already. I know it's literally the happiest day ever. I'm so excited for it. I can't wait. Like one of my friends that's gotten married is like, it literally is the best day, like best weekend of your life that you want to relive over and over and over again. Like it's so special, but I feel sad knowing that it will happen and then be over. Do you know what I mean? I know that's crazy. I feel like people get that way on Christmas Day. They're like, wait, I'm already sad that it's like over. Like it's almost like the excitement leading up to it is a part of the fun. And so just knowing how much gosh dang freaking money is a big thing, and effort and time and planning goes into it. And then now me on the other side going to weddings, seeing how quick they go by, I just like think in my head, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. Or how many decisions you make, the napkins, the florals, the cutlery, the plates, the whatever. And then I go to other weddings and I'm like, did I even notice what color flowers they have? Did I even notice like the plates? I try to take notice because I'm like, oh my gosh, this bride and groom took so much time planning this and effort and all the design. And so then if I don't even notice, I'm like, wait, then I feel bad. And I'm like, what if people don't notice the decisions I make at my wedding, but I know much time and effort and money go into them? I'm like, I'm gonna lose my mind. So yeah, I feel this sense of like nostalgia, maybe is the word, planning, sad for when it's over. I know that's crazy. I don't know why that's a thing. I need to not. I'm obviously most excited more than anything. But yeah, now with each and every wedding I go to, I see how quick they go by and I'm like, holy freaking heck. The years of our money, energy, time, and planning that go into it and how quick it will go by does make me really sad. But I guess that's just a reminder to focus on being not the battery again. What a nightmare with this video. Okay, I was saying that's a reminder to focus on being as present as we can throughout the whole experience. I guess that's all we can do. I like need your guys' tips for everything I'm saying in this video. Help me. That's how we're doing. We're doing good though. Overall, it's all good things, and we have a pathway to improve. I need to keep going with my gratitude journal and my affirmations. I'm looking good. I'm feeling good. Everything's gonna be great in that category. I'm doing the best I can. Grieving the loss of my dad. There is no roadmap for that. But let me tell you, I swear, you guys, there needs to be like a class in school growing up, like in your elementary school, in your middle school, that's like grieving the loss of a loved one. Hey, by the way, this will happen, if not now, at some point in your life. Here are some tools or habits. I don't know. But it's also like every individual is like so different when it comes to that and what helps them. And I think I feel better talking about it, especially with like my mom and my sister and stuff. I feel like some people, when they've lost someone, do not want to talk about it at all. For me, like each day is different. Some people bring up my dad and I'm crying and sobbing and I'm like, I'm so sorry. And then other times I can like laugh and tell stories and memories, and it just depends on the day. So yes, talked about everything. Looking back at my notes, we yapped a lot. Wow, I talked way more than I thought I would, but that's that with how I'm doing right now, health-wise, relationship-wise, socially, where my brain's at, what I'm up to. Yeah. I'm always like, am I feeling lost or am I good? Am I right where I'm supposed to be? That's honestly a very common affirmation I'll write down in my journal in the morning. I'll write down, I'm right where I'm supposed to be. And that always helps me feel a little better. Like, it's all okay. It's all gonna work out and I'm right where I'm meant to be in this moment. With that, love you guys. Thank you for watching this video for way too long if you made it to the end. I love you so much. Wait, I'm sorry. P.S. You really are a real one if you made it to the end here. I actually want to say one thing because I just remembered earlier in the video. I was like, wait, I have an update on that about wedding planning, because I was saying I literally jumped the gun talking about it before I had made like any decisions, but now we actually are at the point where we're making decisions. And I was saying I wasn't able to like even talk about how many bridesmaids I had or whatever, but now I'm gonna tell you guys, I think I might have said like months ago, like, oh yeah, I think I'm gonna have 9 bridesmaids. Like I feel like I said that on social media, but I wasn't totally sure. And now I can tell you with certainty, this is the tea here, if you made it at the end, having 10 bridesmaids And actually, I have not said this at all on social media yet, so this is like scary to say, but I've been finally in the process of asking them. I've already started asking, and I will finish asking this month, which is crazy. And I haven't posted, of course I wanted to post like their reactions and stuff online, but I haven't wanted any of my other about to be bridesmaids to see that and like spoil the surprise. So I'll probably post like putting together their boxes and stuff like that I filmed in January when I'm done. But that is the update on that. That's the tea if you made it here to the end of the video, which is so exciting. We're gonna get back to the regularly scheduled fun content tomorrow, promise. And I'm about to be, actually when this is up I might be in New York, so you'll see some fun times with friends, the friends I've been raving about. So I love you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Again, I'll have the Calm app linked down below in the description. I love you. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.